Meetings for December 18th of 2014. We're glad you're here, and we're appreciative that you come spend some time with us. This is the last meeting of the year. So, with that, we're going to begin with the invocation and the pledge. The invocation this evening will be given by Monsignor John Walsh from St. Joe's Catholic Church. I said St. Joe's. I should say St. Joseph's. I'm sorry. Glad you're here. And then I'll be followed with a pledge with firefighter Michael Lamb, who has been with the county since August of 2013 and is assigned to Station 25B shift. For those who wish to do so, please rise for the invocation pledge.
Let us pray. God our Father, we give you thanks for all your blessings, but especially at this time of the year, for the gift of your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. We also give you thanks, Lord, for our families, our communities, and for this Cobb County that we are all blessed to reside in. Be with our commissioners tonight as they gather here to plan for the future. Open their hearts, enlighten their minds, guide their decisions. May everything that we do, Lord, be for your honor and your glory. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Monsignor and Firefighter Lamb. Appreciate you being with us. So we'll call the meeting to order. Under our first tab is presentation. There's one to be led by Commissioner Gorham to present a certificate of recognition to the Cobb Extension Master Gardeners. Commissioner Gorham.
Uh-uh.
I can do that if you wish.
Master gardeners.
Bingo, we got it. If I hope Warren could come forward along with Neil Tarver and Renee Lemon, please. This evening I have the pleasure on behalf of the Board of Commissioners to present a certificate of recognition to the Master Gardeners here in Cobb County. And I'm going to pass the mic along right now, and Hope and Neil and Renee may have something to add, and then after that I'll read the certificate of recognition.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate so much you recognizing this award. I just want to say that we are very blessed to have our Master Gardeners that work with the Cooperative Extension Office. We value what they do for us. They are trained by the University of Georgia, and they just do so much work in the community that we just appreciate them so much and are so proud of them. I would like to ask the Master Gardeners that actually participated in the tour to come on up with us if you don't mind. And with that, I'm going to introduce Neil Tarver. Neil Tarver is our horticulture agent in our office, and Renee Lemon is our Master Gardener coordinator. And I'm going to turn it over to Renee so she can do her thing. Thank you.
I'm going to do it quick. I would like to just name the people that directly were involved in the garden tour for 2014. The people that I'm going to name were either a chair for the garden tour or the plant sale, or they were part of publicity, or they actually put their home on tour and invited all Cobb County and apparently Fulton County residents to come visit because we got the Atlanta Magazine Award. So I'd like to introduce to you Grady, who was the chair for the garden tour, Lee, who was the chair for the plant sale, Diana Whitlock and Ken Johnson were involved with sponsorships and vendors, Cheryl Linker, Beth St. Jean, Dorte had their homes on the tour. And we had a McFarlane Park, which is a Cobb County park, that was also on the tour. And Grady's home, not only was he garden tour, he put his home on the tour too. So he was probably busy 24/7 for about 6 months. And so those are the folks that were directly involved, but we had garden angels and docents that worked tirelessly for months to get ready for the tour. And in saying that, we have Master Gardeners here that just came to support their fellow Master Gardeners. So all the Cobb County Master Gardeners out in the audience, if you'll just stand up so we can recognize you. And their spouses, yes. I don't see the spouses standing up. Thank you, I appreciate it. Y'all have made my first year as Master Gardener Coordinator wonderful, so I appreciate it.
And special thanks to Commissioner Brule and Commissioner Cupid, who allowed for our events to be posted on their website.
Absolutely,
as well. So
thank you.
I love that you're supporting us. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. The certificate of recognition presented to the Cobb Master Gardeners states, the Cobb County Board of Commissioners congratulates the University of Georgia Cobb Extension Master Gardeners for being honored as the 2014 Best of Atlanta winner chosen by Atlanta Magazine. The Master Gardeners annual garden tour and plant sale raise funds to support projects throughout the county, including school, community, historic, and demonstration gardens, and gardens that produce food for donation to local pantries. This service-oriented group of volunteers is well deserving of the prestigious recognition as Best of Atlanta, and we thank the Cobb Master Gardeners for their countless contributions to our community. Signed this 18th day of December 2014 by the full Board of Commissioners. Congratulations to you all for a wonderful honor. This is for you. Let's kind of get a little bit closer. You guys can double up if you want and for a picture.
All right. Everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you.
Great job, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Gorham. It takes us to tab 2, our stadium update, for the county manager to provide an update for the status of SunTrust Park. Mr.
Good
County
afternoon,
Manager.
Mr. Chairman and Board. We're going to provide you an update on SunTrust Park Stadium. The American Builders Outreach Program, as you stay here, they had their outreach, and there were about 250 to 300 participants. So it was real good, and the timing of the next bids going out was very timely there. So it was a very good meeting going to the next one. As you can see here with the subcontractors award, with Cobb County having over 78% of those awards with that, and which was, and I think the next slide may have some dollar amount, but it was over $100 million been awarded to local Cobb County contractors. Then the Braves had an open public meeting here on 12/9, which was held in this room with the various departments supporting, with the Braves represented, DOT, Finance, Communication Department, Public Safety, Community Development was in. That was a good meeting. Had a pretty steady crowd throughout the afternoon, so that was pretty good as well. Next, we got some new renderings of the stadium and what they're trying to do with the stadium and the mixed use. So I think there'll be plans. You'll gradually see different renderings coming out on the process as well. So the current status of the site, this is, you see no trees now. They're into that mass grading, and they've moved, I think my next slide should show me the cubic yardage of soil moved. No, you did that, but they've moved over 400,000 cubic yards of dirt off that site. And this will give you some time lapse that also was shown at the American Builders meeting. And it'll be dated there to show how things will start coming together on these prospective dates. and just give you some good video of how things have seemed to happen now that they're coming out of the ground and we're actually moving that dirt. So everything's on schedule and moving well, Mr. Chairman and Board.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions for the county manager or any comments? Thank you, sir. Appreciate the update. Tab 3 is our first public comment. We have nobody. Tab 4, we got a couple adjustments to make, commissioners, if you hang with me here for a minute. The first is item 4, under the Board of Commissioners chairs. That item will be removed. It's being removed that we discussed in our work session because it does not require a vote for the assignments, but for one item as it relates to the vice chair. That vice chair appointment does require a vote, but it cannot be brought forward according to our rules until after the first meeting before the last meeting of January. And Ricky Deborah will be more than happy to explain that in more detail, why and how that. But I will be making an announcement as it relates to the appointments in commissioner comments. I'm also going to ask the board to allow me to bring this motion forward, and that's to consider a motion to rescind the previous action taken at the November 25th, 2014 regular meeting of the board, approving agenda item number 24, which read, to amend the program year 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009 annual action plans to reallocate unexpected home investment partnership program funds to Must Ministries, Inc. And no actions has been taken to the result of the vote taken on this item. And my request is to add this motion to this non-agenda item to the consent agenda for our consideration as part of the consent agenda. I'll need a second for that motion. If there's one, there's a second been provided. Any comments? Call the question. The vote is 4-0. We thank you, commissioners, for adding that item. Now I will bring forward a motion, if I'm allowed to do that, to approve the consent agenda as revised and authorize the execution of necessary documents by the appropriate county personnel. Is there a second? There's a second. Any comment? Call the question. That motion carries 4-0. And by the way, I should mention Commissioner Ott is in Hawaii flying. He says he's working, but he's in Hawaii. I don't know how that works, but Hawaii work. I guess some jobs have its perks. So that moves us on to our second public comment. Ms. Dance. Tab 5 is our second public comment. Pardon me? We have nobody. So that takes us to tab 6, Commissioner's Public Address. I'm going to do it backwards tonight. I'm going to start with Ms. Burrell, and then myself, and then Ms. Cupid, and then myself, and then finally finishing up with Commissioner Gore. Commissioner Burrell.
I have a couple, well, 3 actually, board appointments that I would like to announce tonight. The first one is appointing Ronnie Raines to the Home Builders Advisory Board, and he replaces Ron Lester. I would like to publicly thank Ron Lester for his service over the last 4 years. Also, Tom LeMay is being appointed to the Electrical Advisory Board, and he replaces Alex Owens. And I'd like to publicly thank Alex for his service as well. And Charles Kaninsky is being appointed to the Board of Adjustments and Appeals, and he will replace Tommy Griffin. And I'd like to thank Tommy for his service over the last 4 years. I'd also just like to take this time to thank all of our wonderful Cobb County employees. We've had an excellent year, outstanding year, and the county is very fortunate to have such talented and committed individuals working on behalf of the Cobb County citizens. And I'd just like to wish you and your families a wonderful Christmas and prosperous New Year. And I would especially like to thank Steve McCullers and his staff. I've been the liaison commissioner for the water system for the last 2 years. And Steve is here tonight and has been a tremendous help to me. And we've worked well together. And I look forward to maybe one day getting him back. But for now, even though we have our differences, I'd just like to thank him and his department. They never cease to amaze me in all the the hard work that they do and the recognition statewide that they get and awards that they receive. Also, I'd like to especially recognize our public safety team. I've been the liaison commissioner this year for public safety as well, and they have been gracious enough to meet with me on a regular basis, and we've worked very well together with all the things going on in public safety this past year. It's been a tough year, so I really appreciate all the help and working with our public safety team. And with that, I'd like to read a letter that the fire chief received from a constituent. Very touching letter, if I may.
Please.
Dear Chief, on Thursday morning I got ready for work like I do every day. I took a shower, got dressed, came down and gathered up my stuff. Then I noticed a weird smell in my house. It smelled like ozone and smoke. I checked all the devices in the house and I thought I saw a faint look of smoke in the house, but could not find anything. I grabbed my stuff, opened the door into the garage, and found it completely filled with smoke. I searched everywhere for the source, but could not find it. Not knowing what else to do, I called 911. In less than 5 minutes, I had 2 fire trucks and no less than 7 men at my home. Men that almost seemed bigger than life, but they were here for me. I told them what happened, and in a very short time, they found the culprit. It was a shorted out Christmas extension cord. I felt silly and embarrassed, but they treated me with respect and understanding. I suppose if I had left 10 minutes earlier that day, it could have taken my whole house. They did a thorough job of searching and assuring me that there was nothing more to worry about. I shook their hands and told them how grateful I was. This letter is to tell you how grateful I am for the men and women who serve to come to help people like me who have nowhere else to turn in an emergency. And it also gives me a chance to thank you for something else your people did for me 16 years ago at this same address. I had a little boy. He was 11 months old. He had a genetic disorder that was terminal, but we had him at home in hospice care. On another horrible Thursday morning, my wife woke me up to say, Jonathan isn't breathing. I ran to his room and immediately began CPR on him while she called 911. They were here in less than 3 minutes. I can't remember if I left the door open or if they broke in, but they were upstairs in an instant and hovered over my little boy as if it were their own. I will never forget the eyes of the fireman when he looked up at me, eyes that told me everything. My little boy was gone, and he had tears in his eyes. I was so wrapped up in everything after that I never got a chance to thank those men. Thank them for coming so soon, thank them for their diligence and heroic efforts to save my son, and thank them for their love. Well, this is my thank you. Thank you for everything you do. I'm one person who truly, truly appreciates your service. I don't have much, but if there's ever something I can do or pay back your service, please let me know. So I think this season of Christmas is a very appropriate time to thank all those that serve, and this is a very heartfelt letter from a constituent that I wanted to share.
Thank you for doing so.
I'd also like to announce or thank everyone too for electing me to a second term, and my swearing in will be on Tuesday, January the 6th, here in this room at 4 p.m. And there will be a reception afterwards across the hall in the Learning Center. And everyone is welcome to attend. And I'm going to say one more thing, and I'm not going to cry, but I'm going to miss Commissioner Gorham and even her assistant, Annette. They have been a big help to me the last 4 years, giving me good sound advice from time to time, and we are losing our majority, Commissioner Cupid, with Commissioner Gorham leaving us and Mr. Weatherford replacing her, but it's been a great learning experience and a pleasure working with Helen and Annette the last 4 years, so thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Cupid.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to thank the citizens and stakeholders of the district for the honor of serving a second year in my role as commissioner. I appreciate your ongoing support and look forward to continuing to serve you for the next couple of years. I would like to share with you some of the accomplishments that we've made over this past year, which we can reflect on and be assured that the district is moving in a positive direction. Over this past year, we've had several $1 million of investment in new rooftops and recreation facilities, and also industrial development, which will result in over 1,000 jobs being created in the district. That's something that we can be proud of, and something that indicates the healthy direction that District 4 is moving in. I'm also excited to share that SPLOST passed, because with the SPLOST passing, it enables a lot of the projects that a lot of you have called the office and have shared your desire to see. It allows us to work towards getting those in place so that we can have sidewalks for your families to walk safely on, so that we can strengthen our library system, which many of you know we do value and get a lot of use out of, and also strengthen our recreational facilities. So I'm very pleased to work with you over the next couple of years to make sure that we have quality public projects that are in the district. I've also seen increased community participation, which is exciting. Did not have as many town halls the second year as I had my first year. I think I may have had about 12 public meetings my first year. I believe this year we had about 6, but all of them were very well attended. And it's nice to see new faces of people who are very interested in being an active part of the community. And I thank you for that participation, because that's, I think, the main indicator for me that people care about what's going on in the district and that we have a healthy district. I'm also pleased to share about the Special Services District, which passed. There has been a lot of discussion about what should be done in the district to add investment because of some of the conditions that which have languished over time. And, you know, as our chairman shared during the first address when I first came to the Board of Commissioners, that more was going to have to be done in the district to bring it up to parity with other parts of the district. And it's very nice to see a unique tool like this being put in place, because it shows unique attention that I believe was warranted to the district to give it a jump start, which was needed. And that's something that we can also take pride in. I'm very glad that we are kicking off our branding and marketing study for South Cobb to start to put out the good news of things which have not just occurred this year, but over the several years due to the investment that our families have made in the district, that our prior commissioners have made, that our staff continues to make across the county and in District 4. So we look forward to hopefully having a unified message of which we can share with others about South Cobb being a great place to live in and also visit. I'm also pleased to share that we have been active in the stadium coming to Cobb County. There has been some discussion about what impact this can have in South Cobb, and it was nice to see this year that our vendor participation, or our vendor kickoff, occurred in South Cobb, where vendors had the opportunity to see how they can work in helping to bring the stadium into fruition. The Braves also held an event for nonprofits in the district so that they can learn how they can be partners with the organization. I'm also glad that the Braves organization has also met with several community leaders in the district to see how we can work on bringing employment opportunities to those specifically in South Cobb, which brings me to transportation. One of the positive benefits of the stadium coming was consideration of adding a new bus route to South Cobb, and I'm pleased to say that DOT has been working on efforts to start a new bus route next year, which would be Route 25, which will add east-west connectivity from District 4 to the Cumberland area. And for those who have had to travel to the Cumberland area via our north-south route on the 30 and then to come back to the Cumberland area, this will shave off several minutes, if not more, of your time so that we can have direct access to a burgeoning job center here in Cobb County. So I'm very excited about that. With that, we have worked on strengthening the flex bus route, which I've had the opportunity to discuss with several of our residents at our public meetings, which will provide a door-to-door demand service for transit in the district. And this will help to serve residents who are impacted by bus routes that were cut during our economic downturn. And I'm very excited to see how that's moving along and look forward to the implementation of that next year in 2015. There's much more that I can share, but I want to, again, just highlight some of the great things that we've been working hard on this year and that we can see are coming to pass. But while Commissioner Cupid can speak about that, I've shared in many county meetings before that it is not Commissioner Cupid that's outside responding to your requests, filling potholes, making sure that people are abiding by code and putting these projects in place. It's our staff that is doing this day in and day out. And everything that I commit to or desire to do is done by those who work very hard in serving our county. And I want to thank you publicly for all that you do, seen and unseen, because without you doing what you do, we could not do what we do up here on the Board of Commissioners. So thank you. I also want to specifically thank Support Services for our relationship over this past year. I've had the opportunity to learn a lot more about the departments within that agency and to advocate for any concerns that that agency has had, and appreciate the relationship that was forged, and will continue to be an advocate for Support Services because a lot of the work that they do is unseen, but their work carries the load of many of our departments here. I also want to thank the Audit Committee, even though it was a little painful sometimes waking up for 8 o'clock a.m. meetings. Well, having to wake up at 4 to get 2 kids ready so I can get to an 8 o'clock meeting. But I learned so much about Cobb County during my time served on that committee. And I thank Latona for the quality work that your organization does for Cobb. Lastly, I want to thank, well, not lastly, but I want to thank board appointees for District 4 for your dedicated and diligent service throughout this past year. You don't necessarily get the limelight that the commissioner gets, but you have to put in the work and the hours to advocate for residents in the district. And I'm appreciative of all that you do day in and day out in your roles voluntarily. Know that your labor is not in vain, and it is also helping to move our district in the right direction. I also want to thank our fellow commissioners. Nobody on this board is an island unto themselves. The things that we do collectively, and I could not be able to do what I do without your support. So with that, thank you again. I hope all of you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, certainly a wonderful New Year. And once again, I look forward to serving with you in 2015.
Thank you, Commissioner. My comments will be brief, but I do have to do some house cleaning as it relates to announcing committee appointments or liaison appointments for the 2015 years. So I'm gonna state them publicly tonight, and then I'll follow up with a memo tomorrow to the staff. Commissioner Bob Weatherford, who is here tonight, Commissioner-elect Bob Weatherford, thanks for being with us tonight. He will be assigned to the Public Safety Agency. He will also be assigned to Cobb Travel and Tourism as the District 1 Commissioner. The District 2 Commissioner, Commissioner Bob, will be assigned to the Support Services Agency and the Community Development Agency. Commissioner Joanne Burrow will be appointed to the Public Services Agency and will serve as a board appointee to the Airport Advisory Board, which needs to be brought back as an agenda item and will be done so. Commissioner Cupid will be appointed to the Water System Agency and the Communications Department, which I think is timely given the efforts going on in South Cobb relative to that enhanced and more robust plan. The chairman will maintain the transportation agency and elected officials, county clerk's office, economic development, finance, internal audit, human resources, judicial system, and the Cobb EMA. The appointment to the vice chairman is, like I said earlier, cannot be made prior to the first meeting in January and no later than the second meeting in January, so that will be brought forward for the board in January. So those are the appointments as we currently have them. If I missed anything, we'll pick it up later. So Mr. Ott, who is working in Hawaii, has asked us to promote awareness that Toys for Tots is having a little bit of a downturn in their collections this year. So he asked, and I ask on your behalf, that Toys for Tot be in your consideration as you do your planning for your holidays this year. They're in desperate need, and that's a great organization. Again, I want to welcome Mr. Bob Weatherford to District 1 Commission seat. We look forward to working with you, sir, as we move forward the next 4 years. I would like to also congratulate Joanne for her reelection in the next 4 years. She'll be with us as well. Clearly, I want to thank Mr. Hankerson, our county manager. You've been with us for 58 years now, and it's been astounding the staff you've led during that time and the accomplishment this county has achieved under your leadership. And everyone in this county, 700,000 strong, and the millions of visitors, owe you a great deal of gratitude for your leadership, sir, in making this county a great place to live, work, play, raise a family, get a great education, and be the shining star of this nation. And we thank you for everything you've done in that regard. And staff, you guys, you knocked it out of the park again this year. Each year things seem to get more and more complicated, and you all rise up and do what you need to get done. And I can't be more appreciative of every one of you for what you do to help us make us look good. And in spite of the fact that we do stupid things to make us look stupid, you guys take it and go with it and make things happen and repair it and move on. And I appreciate so much everyone for what they've done to make this such a great county. I'd like to obviously thank the residents for their trust in our leadership and the confidence. I know I promise and I renew my commitment, as I'm sure the other commissioners do, that we're going to work harder in 2015 to strengthen that trust and so that we can raise your confidence in our ability to lead as your commissioners for Cobb County. Commissioner Burl, I believe you have a special annual event tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
That would be
Happy birthday to me.
happy birthday to you. So we want to make sure to publicly wish you a happy birthday. And last but not least, Commissioner Gorham, who's been my partner for what, 12 years now? Well, okay. Been my commissioner, my co-commissioner, all right, so we've served together for
Yes.
what, 12 years, right? There's been times we were partners, okay? There was like 20 minutes one day that we worked out. Now, Helen's been a great steward of her district. I've worked with just a few commissioners, either before my becoming a commissioner or since then, and you can't find a person that's got more integrity, more resolve, and more commitment to consistency in their position than Commissioner Gorham. And she's represented the people of Cobb County and more directly the people of District 1 very, very well, and will be a shining example for commissioners to come for years. And I appreciate everything you've done for this county and for the employees and for the citizens and the visitors here. Your leadership and it's been tremendous, and we appreciate you very much for that. Annette, not so much, but you know, we love her. We're gonna miss you. I know we're gonna miss you. There's no one quite like you anywhere in this earth, and that's a good thing. You're a unique, special, wonderful person. I appreciate you so very much, and you'll be missed. Yeah, right. Commissioner Gorham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is my final Board of Commissioners meeting, and I was doing some math here, and I guess I've attended approximately 288 Board of Commissioners meetings, just our business meetings over 12 years. This This has been a special position for me. This is a special county with special staff. I had a special assistant, no matter what you say, Mr. Chairman. She has been the wind beneath my wings, and we couldn't run the kind of office that we ran. And I'm very proud of the type of work that we produced from our office. So thank you, Annette. And I know that our friendship will not end here. Consider you a sister, and we've shared many, many close issues during the course of the 12 years that we've been together, and we will continue to share through the years to come. Thank you, Mr. County Manager. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Tim and board, for working on some really difficult issues during the course of my career here. But we got a lot done, and I think we're in super shape for the future. I'm so excited about that. But to top off my career here, I thought it would be fitting to show a video tonight of an event that took place here in Cobb County. And what you're seeing right now is actually the topping of the new air traffic control tower at McCullum Field. So I'm going to shut up for a while and allow everyone to take a gander at what's taking place. This is a product of our 2011 SPLOST, I believe it was, and also a lot of federal funding to be able to have a state-of-the-art tower here in Cobb County. And what an undertaking. And
That must be Faye doing that.
it was taken from Director DeMassimo's iPhone, but here's the finished product. And I think it's indicative of what we can do as a county, the magnitude of work that we can do. I couldn't have served here without the support of my family, without the support of staff, without the support of friends. It has been an honor to serve the good people of Cobb County for 12 years. Your support and trust in me meant a lot, and hopefully the decisions that I have made will be able to be a framework and a foundation for other decisions to be made in the future, so that we follow down that path that we've been following for many, many years. As Commissioner Weatherford had stated, we can only stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, and how true that is for me here in District 1 to be able to pick up the charge and continue forward to see that Cobb County is a great place to live, work, and play. And it has been a pleasure. And with that, I will say thank you and good night.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Gorham. We appreciate you. I want to extend a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone here tonight. Mr. Hankerson, County Manager, any further things to add?
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Wonderful. We are adjourned. Thank you.
you.